The idea actually originated. I wrote it initially like 5 or 6 years ago, and it actually came from my experience on a show I did called Farscape. And Farscape was kind of right at the earliest days of kind of fan connection with the show. And the Farscape experience was just fabulous. And the fans were just continue to be like this kind of incredibly warm family. But then typically, as my head tends to go, it's like, okay, Farscape is very sci-fi adventure, very very emotional. What if the show that fans were rallying around wasn't something as benign as Farscape? It was something a little bit darker, a little bit more edgy. And what kind of fans might that draw in? So that's kind of the origins of the idea. Kind of came from that experience. And even though the idea originated 5 years ago, to be honest, it couldn't be airing at a better time because that whole social media interaction among fans has just exploded, and it's even more kind of current than it was even back when I first conceived it. I'm just excited for them to see it. And it really it's so. I'm a fan myself, so it's the sort of show that I would love to see. It's a show that I think is very ripe for the very aware Comic-Con audience, because you don't watch cult the way you watch other shows. It's not hard to follow by any stretch, but it is a different experience. And as I tend to like to say, you don't watch cult exactly the same way. You watch cult in kind of its own unique way, and as part of that, cult's kind of watching you in return, because it's that kind of you don't the blurring of the line about what's television and what's reality.
How difficult is it keeping track of the show within a show?
It's not really. I mean, my intent is to really create for the Inside Show a show that's compelling on its own right, that you would want to watch if it was as an actual television show. I want the audience that's watching our show to go, yeah, that's actually, I can get why people are fans of that show. I would be compelled to watch that as well. So it's obviously we're breaking two different stories each week for Inside and Outside Show. But yeah, I mean that's very much part of the kind of the design and I think a fascinating aspect of it. The 13 to me is like the perfect number. It's very much the cable model, and so which allows you to be a little bit more serialized, and just make it a more intensive, kind of immersive experience for the audience. It also allows you to, fewer preemptions, that sort of thing, sort of things that are normally kind of built into a show. When we premiere in January, we'll be able to run, the series will run every week, as opposed to even a break for Christmas or holidays or anything like that. And that to me just makes it more kind of destination television, all that sorts of things. Most of the television that I like tends to be the shorter order things. There are full season series that I like, but the ones that tend to really grip me are the ones that are that are much more kind of intense, shorter experiences. So. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if there's a real advantage to it. I mean, there's always an advantage if you're airing and then working on subsequent episodes to kind of get a sense of what audience feeling is. Again, the nature of this is it's such a kind of distinctive plan that I've got that. Kind of like I'd almost kind of like to have first season out there, my version, and see how it plays.
Are you still telling everybody that you created this?
Yeah, exactly.
This is an actor we've hired to play the role of Rockne O'Bannon. I got to take him away. Thank you.